off. And Elise was crying because she's like, where is he? And it's crazy because you're running off and you're leaving your girlfriend with Chris, his friend and the roommate, who's always there. And I'm like, and he stopped sharing the location. I'm kind of looking like, why would you do that to this girl when she's not native to Australia? She's here to see you. Go off, do what you do, but at least let her keep the location. Then you do all of this the night before she has to leave back to go to America. The least he could have done is given Elise that last night together, especially since her first day to Australia, she was on a 26-hour flight and couldn't even take a shower and sleep. She had to go straight to a bar with him. So the least he could have done is supported her with that last night. But you said, wait, what am I waiting for, Shani? Welcome in, Shani. But she said, were you talking and the live didn't start yet? No, I've been here for over 5 minutes. We've been live since 5:15 when it was scheduled to start. Are you having trouble? Huh? I just got the notification for your live. Oh, okay. YouTube. My husband just told me that YouTube just now sent him a notification that I am live. You guys, YouTube be on BS. I don't know why. That's why it's always good when I set them up to ring the bell, because, yeah, it's been set up for some time. It looks like YouTube is tripping. So sorry. But Elise, she has a right to be upset this time. Oh, yeah, YouTube be on their stuff. They really do. Some weeks it's good. Other weeks, sometimes they mess up. That's why I try to share stuff to my Instagram to let people know when we're live, because I'm learning that YouTube is not reliable with that. But I still appreciate y'all because y'all found your way here anyway. So shout out to everybody here. But so Chris, this is Josh's friend. I was actually talking to Shani. Feel free to DM me anytime on Instagram, you guys, or Facebook. I do respond. But I was talking to Shani earlier about Chris, who is the friend that's living with Josh and is helping Josh to pay for the rental so that Elise has somewhere to stay. And even Chris was saying that Josh was wrong to leave her like that. And I kind of feel like Chris and Elise should give it a shot. They cute together. He always got his shirt off. They get along well and be goofing around. Josh just seems like that friend that is irresponsible and is going to be a party boy until he's 75. Like, that's literally what he gives. Now, I like how Chris minded his business. He was like, I hear them argue. I just keep to myself and let them do what they do. He's a solid friend. Let me see. Shani said Chris looked like he want that girl always around her with no shirt. We could say the same about Elise because she liked to go everywhere with no clothes. It's cold as hell where she's been staying. And Elise just been outside with no clothes like it's the thing to do. Like, maybe she's not anemic. I'm anemic, so I'm always cold. But maybe Elise has healthy blood and enough iron. I don't know. But they do give that energy. Her and Chris, he does seem like he's on her side. Originally, he seemed a little annoyed and rude, but I feel like Chris and Elise have built a bond. I wouldn't be surprised if we learn at the tell-all next week that Chris and Elise might still talk, because they really did seem to have a good rapport with each other, in my opinion. Let me know if you guys felt differently. It's totally fine if you do, because everybody who watches sees something differently, and I'm curious of your perspectives. But Josh eventually comes home. He says hello to Chris and he's like, oh yeah, what's up? Looking all serious. He immediately goes to the room that Elise is in. And, I don't like men that do this. He was like, I'm so sorry. I was angry. I drove off. I was upset. And she's like, but you stopped sharing your location. And he's like, I was angry. I walked off. I was upset. My husband has my location and vice versa. If we have an argument or someone gets angry, he still has my location. I find that to be odd, especially if if the reason for sharing your location is safety reasons, just because you're in an argument, you shouldn't unshare it. But I just feel like Joshua has this thing where he does effed up stuff that he knows is not okay in relationships, because he tells us that he's had issues with it in his past relationships, yet he continues to do stuff that he knows that women don't like and then act surprised. I don't think he wants a relationship. I think he's okay with being an F-boy. I really do. I genuinely feel that way. But Josh claims that he gets a little frustrated because he says that Elise was okay with him having friends over at first, which I do believe. And he says that when the friends came over, she changed her mind. But it does sound like when she described things, like Elise might have changed her mind about the friends because Josh, it sounds like she described him as not being nice to her while they were around, or kind of like getting an attitude, changing up how he treats her, which I could understand. That's the worst thing. Like if my man would act different just because he's around some people are partying, I don't want him no more. He can go be with them people since he got to act so different around them. Just be in that way permanently if that's the case. So I get Elisa's frustration. I also get Josh's frustration. But even if she said it was okay and changed her mind, why would you prioritize partying and having people over on the last full day you have with your girlfriend before she goes back to America? Like, what are you doing? But Josh ends up taking her to the airport anyway, which I was like, it's looking like Chris was going to take her if Josh didn't, because Josh walked in like at the last moment to get her to the airport, which would have also pissed me off if I were Elise. But they go to the airport and I'm just like, this is not good. I think we can all figure out, like, they don't know each other long. I believe they'd only been talking for like 6 to 8 months prior to her meeting him in person. She met him in person and then he acted a complete fool. And now she's leaving him on bad terms. So they get to the airport and she immediately breaks up with him. She's like, yeah, it's just not going to work. And I respected her for doing that because I felt like it was the right move. It was the one smart decision I think that Elise has made the entire time that she's been around him. But I feel like she could have made this decision sooner than later. After that situation with Nat, I would have been fucking done with Josh. Like, I would have been done. And not even the issue of him living with Nat and lying. When you prioritize going after your friend over your girlfriend, oh, I would have been done. I would have been done. But when she breaks up with him, he did not care. He did not fight with her. There was no baby, please. Are you sure? Maybe we could just make this temporary and try again later. He was just like, I understand. And I'm sorry I messed up. No emotions, no tears, no nothing. Just, I understand and I'm sorry I messed up. Now, I get it's a breakup. So, like, she shouldn't feel too much from him. But it's like, if you're so okay with her breaking up and not willing to fight at all, and you've been talking about you're falling in love with her, is it really love? Is it really love? Because if you really love her, you wouldn't be able to just let her go so easy. So she gets on the plane devastated at the breakup, even though it was the right choice. And this fool Joshi tells the camera that he feels like Elise played with his feelings. And the reason he feels like she played with his feelings is because she was hesitant. And I'm like, Negro, what? She was hesitant because your bitch ass wants to be a child and not handle your responsibilities. She was hesitant because you lied to her about where you lived, who lived with you, if you paid bills, the status and situation with your son, and then you treated her like dirt when you had other friends around, prioritized partying over her, disappeared whenever the hell you felt like it. No, like, Josh, she did not play with you. In my opinion, he kind of played with her, but I truly believe that Josh is immature and this is how he's dated. And I don't think he's going to change it. Like, I genuinely think this is just how he is. There's nothing anybody can do. This is a big ass man child who's attractive and is probably always going to be able to pull a female to be okay. At this point, Josh, just date Nat. Stop wasting the time of other women and just date Nat. I don't understand why that's so hard. I just don't. Let's get to the comments before we move into the next couple. Shani said, girl, go with Chris. It's not like him and Joshua are real roommates. And you don't have to worry about Chris living with no other side chick when you're not there. Right. That's the truth. Joshua, your girl is in another country alone. You don't turn off your notifications or your location. Wait until she lands back in Miami. Then you can turn all that off. Right. He had the shit off before she could even get to the airport. He was done with her. He was totally done with her. Shetty says she looked like she said, yeah, invite your friends over, and then got an attitude. Yes, I do think she did that. But she also said that his attitude changed up. So I feel like she got mad when he switched up. I do. But I could be wrong because Elise also gives toxic. Like, you know, some people you could see why they've been single for so long. She is one of them. I thought that was a grown woman decision of her to break up with him. It was. And I hope that that's like the turning point to her making better decisions in how she dates and what she does and things like that, because there's no reason she should have stayed and kept dealing with Josh for as long as she did. Like, most women would have been done. They would have been done. But let's get into thugs, the next couple, which is Laura and Bir Khan, our MAGA teaching crazy delusional lady, and our man who likes to use racial slurs on the internet. I will not let people forget that they do that. Also, word on the curb is Bir Khan messed up his relationship with 90 Day and may not be able to come back on this show. And I did see the trailer for the tell-all. Laura looks terrible, and it looked like she done gained about 40 pounds back. If she did, oh well, but I don't know who did Laura's makeup for the reunion. She looked better in Turkey, just dressed regularly. Whoever did her hair and makeup needs to be fired, and her outfit. Like, Laura needs to fire them all. But in this episode, we see Laura and Bir Khan have worked past the fact that she was telling lie after lie about Michael. And, you know, Bir Khan wants to show her soccer or football, whatever you shall call it. And he explains that soccer was his first love, something he really enjoyed. And he starts doing stuff with the ball. He's very good at soccer. And, you know, Laura kicks some balls around with him. But he starts talking to Laura about the origins of the wedding ring, which he says the wedding ring goes on the left hand because there's a vein in your left finger that connects directly to your heart. I did not know that. So I was like, oh, wow, is that what this means? That's wonderful. When I got married, they were like, the ring represents love that does not end because it's a circle and a circle doesn't end. But I guess what he's saying also sounded good. It could have been whatever. But he tells her the origins of a wedding ring, asked her to marry him. She said yes. His words were actually sweet. Bir Khan's a wonderful writer or whatever the hell. You could tell he's philosophical. But Shani said it before I could. You better not tell me about the origins of a goddamn ring and then ask me to marry you, but not give me a ring. He put a string on his finger and a string on her finger and said, see, we are attached. So will you marry me? Where is my ring? Where is it? It could have been an Amazon ring. You could have went to K Jewelers, Zales. It could have been from somewhere cheap and simple. It could have been from Etsy. It could have been something you made. Okay? But I want a ring, not a string. And then you do it on a kid's soccer field? Huh? Bir Khan, what we doing? And why we doing it? I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I'm lost. I really am. And I want to be found. But I know, listen, when I got engaged, there was no ring. My man did give me a ring so he could give me a ring. When we got married, we used, I think, some rings his mama had. And now I have my ring. My wedding, my engagement, all of that. But a string. This is a 30-something-year-old man. And you gave her a fucking string. And then the crazy part about it is he told Laura that he gambles so well that he could turn $100 into $15,000 or something at some point in the season. So I'm like, that would have been the perfect opportunity to gamble and to show Laura, like, even though I gamble, I'm not a red flag. Look what I got you from my winnings. A ring. That would have made sense. Not a damn string. But the time comes for Laura to leave. She's going to fly back with Michael, and she tells Michael they're engaged, and Michael was just like, well, congrats. Good for you. And I'm curious because it looked like there's going to be a lot of tea with Laura and Michael at the tell-all, like they are not friends anymore. And it looks like Laura's probably not friends with Michael. She says it's because he was jealous of Bir Khan. I don't think he was, because he never wanted you. I think that Bir Khan watched the show and saw how thirsty Laura was over Michael, and she had no choice but to end it. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think will happen with them, is happening with them. Are you guys going to watch the tell-all? Because I am curious. But let me get these the comments. She said, yo, he proposed with a string on a child's soccer field. Lord. After he made her panties wet kicking the ball around, she would have said yes to anything. Shanny. When he balanced that soccer ball on the back of his neck, I said, oh, wow. That's different. That is different. Lord. She said, not even a real soccer field to practice one. That if y'all have seen a real soccer field, Birkan did take her to like a mini, like kiddie soccer field. He definitely did. Shanny said, hell yeah, I'm gonna watch the tell-all. Absolutely. Shanny, I might bring you up here with myself and James. Or if James isn't able to make it, because y'all know he works nights, I'll probably bring you up for the tell-all, because I was supposed to send you a link for something else and I forgot because of school. But Shanny just be wanting to come up here and talk about us because that's our friend and our favorite thug. So I am going to be inviting her, and then everybody can say hello to our moderator. But yes, the tell-all is going to be the Hot Mess Express. So if anybody's interested in being a part of that live and discussing it with Mrs. Best and James, let me know, because definitely can be a fun discussion, because I've been watching 90 Day for years and years, but this was one of the best seasons I have watched, hands down. Hands down. And before the 90 days, I've always been bored by, but not this season. So they got it right. They got it right. They got it right. But let me know how y'all feel about Laura and Birkan. We're going to move on into Anna and Jovan. A lot happened with them, but this is the couple I am the most worried about. Now, Anna and Jovan, we get the update. He was supposed to have left a while ago, but Jovan decided to extend his visa so that he and Anna could continue to like spend time together. Because let's call a spade a spade. They've been arguing pretty much the whole first half of her trip. They've been arguing. So it did make sense for them to extend the trip. They went and they traveled to some places, it looks like, so they have new memories. And Anna tells us that things have been going well with them, but she says she's been nauseous and not feeling well. So she decided to take a pregnancy test. And surprise, surprise, all that unprotected sex, she's getting a baby out of it. Look at the Lord work. I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm actually was okay with it just because Anna's 38. So she's getting to that age where it's like, if you haven't had a baby, you might want to do it. But she tells Jovan she woke him up out of his sleep. Woke him up out his sleep to tell him that she was pregnant. And he was actually happy in his response. But they do have a lot to figure out. And she's very, very anxious. I know we were. I've messed that all the way up, Shanny. I'm so sorry. I was busy as hell this weekend. But next weekend I won't be. So I'm going to catch your ass. Don't forget. But Anna and Jovan, they're happy, but they have a lot to figure out. They are married, but this is his first time meeting her in person. For those who don't know, you can get married without being in person, especially if you got married during COVID, which I believe that they did. Separate from that, you could get married by proxy. You and your spouse don't have to be there. Some attorneys or somebody can show up and do it for you. It's very common on shows like Love After Lockup, but there's a lot of different ways to get married. But it's going to be difficult because Jovan is an American citizen. Anna is a citizen of the Philippines, and this is their first time meeting. I don't know how it works with a K-1 visa if they're already married. I don't. I know normally with 90 Day Fiancé, you have 90 days to get engaged and get married, or you have to go back to your home country, but they're already in that situation. So I'm not sure how the visa would work. But Jovan, if you got a baby coming, you better get your ass up out that nursing home and go get you a job that can support yourself, your wife, and your child. Or at the very least, get a job that can make it to where you can go to the Philippines twice a year, at least, maybe 2-3 times a year. But they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. And Anna tries to talk to him about, you know, the visa being expensive and what they have to do. And she's telling him, she's like, she's going to have to be pregnant on her own, at doctor's appointments on her own. She's going to have to give birth on her own, deal with a newborn on her own, even though she's married, which is unfortunate. I'll be goddamned if I have a baby and I have a husband and I'm pregnant on my own and all of that. Unless that man is deployed or in the upper room, Mr. Best better keep his ass here and support me because I'm needy as hell. So that would definitely need to happen. So I do empathize with Anna for that, but I also kind of feel like y'all should have been a little more careful knowing that you live across the world from each other, especially Jovan. You know, America with this administration don't want to let nobody in that ain't clear. Okay. If you're not colorless, or if you are if you're not colorless, they don't want you in. Pretty much. They only want the colorless, the people who look and act like Elon Musk or whatever. So I'm not understanding why they didn't plan better, but I think it's nice and wonderful that they are having a baby. They both seem so excited about it. Jovan, though, is too nonchalant for me, though. Like, homeboy is just like, I mean, ain't nothing we could do about it. We just gonna have to figure it out. Like, sir, you don't want to meet your child? You don't want to be around them every day? Like, he just did not seem to care. But Anna did think that her being pregnant would make Jovan want to put more effort into her coming to the US, but it didn't. The last day arrives and he does go away. I don't know. I think of any couple, they have the most to figure out because they have a baby on the way, but we're going to wish the best for Anna and Jovan. How do you guys feel about it? I'm surprised because I thought this couple would break up before they could have a baby or any of that, but it looks like they finding a way and getting it done. But Lord help us, Lord help us, Lord help us. Shani said, did they meet online? I know you told me that before they got married online, but how did they meet? They did meet online. They did meet online. I believe it was Facebook. Most of the people on shows like this meet them online, unless they're traveling, or like I believe Rick was the one who was traveling and met Trish, but they did meet online. That's all right. I was cooking chicken thighs and rice. That boy got me again, but I made him make the yams. Well, Not Shani made progress. She said, I didn't make everything this time. I just want my husband to cook. But I taught him how to boil rice. Mr. Best can now boil rice. I'm very proud of him for it. Catherine Wheatley Herbert, that is his mother. She birthed him. She says, a string. Where is he? On Little Rascals, Alpha and Darla? He gave her a string for an engagement. I'm just like, just give her nothing and wait till you can afford a ring. Like, please, if she loves you, she'll wait. I waited for my husband to afford a ring, and now I love my ring. I can't fit it anymore, though, so I need to get a new one or get it resized. But I'm thinking going the new route for a ring is probably going to be better for me. Not Tariq cannot boil rice, Lord. Well, maybe I send my husband up to the East Coast, and Tariq can show him how to make some yams, and Josiah can show Tariq how to boil some rice. Maybe they could a 2 for 2 learn some things, and then they'll be eating rice and sweet potatoes whenever one of us goes out of town. Hot Mess Express, y'all. If you haven't already, like the video, I do appreciate it. Also, shout out to everybody who did subscribe or participated in helping my channel get recognized. I am at 800 subscribers. I am extremely close to 1,000 subscribers, and I am eligible to monetize. So I appreciate all of you guys. A big shout out and thank you also to the replay gang. Those who watch us when we're not live, y'all matter too. Okay. Shani said, oh snap, the computer is loud. My son heard you. Hey, Tariq. I know he'd be tired of me. He's like, who is this lady on the West Coast just saying hi? Come rescue me from California. I'm tired of it. Lord, it's expensive. We are going to move into our favorite couple of the show, we should call them, Lisa and Daniel. Lisa's back in Pennsylvania, y'all, and she got on one of these beauty supply Temu wigs, Tyler Perry wig special from back when the plays was happening. That's what she got on her head, and it's blonde, and she's got the ombre, the brown roots. Lisa is something else with her hair, but she's walking with her daughter Faith, and Faith said, Mom, why are we here? Lisa said, it's walking. It helps me feel better. It helps me center. I'm like, okay, Lisa. But Lisa says that Daniel wants her because her daughter's like, Mom, you changed wigs again, huh? Which is her daughter's way of saying, Mom, take that shit off your head. But, I digress. Lisa goes, well, Daniel wants me to get some African braid styles. And I'd like to check Lisa and Faith because they went on the internet recently and did a live and said that the Vikings started braids. I don't know why white people do this. Y'all did not start braids. Y'all may have learned how to do some braids, but braids has African roots and roots to people of color. Stop trying to claim everything that ain't y'all's because you see it got popular when y'all tried to hate on us. Please don't do that, Lisa and Faith. It's not going to work out for y'all because the way that we could read y'all for filth trying to come for Black history is in a way that would get me put off of the internet permanently. So I'm not going to do it. But the Vikings did not start braid styles. They did not. They definitely did not. I just thought everybody would need to know that. And if you knew any fucking thing about braids, Lisa, you know that you need to have your hair braided up under that wig, and then maybe them sores would go away. I'm just saying. Shanny said that freaking wig on her head. Did you see the back of that wig? I know. Yeah, I don't understand why Lisa's against a brush. Ain't nothing wrong with wearing a wig. Nothing's wrong with it. But run a brush, run a comb through that motherfucker. I didn't understand why she just had a bush at the back of her head. You can't just put a wig on your head. You have to flat iron it, sometimes chop it, trim it. There's a lot that goes into it, but we know Lisa's not doing that. It's straight bird's nest on the back. Hell, a bird's nest is more organized. I didn't understand what was going on with Lisa's head, but Lisa is committed to stressing us out with these wigs and weaves. And I was happy to see that Lisa went to the tell-all without a wig, because if she didn't, my teeth would have been itching the whole way through. But at the same time, Lisa is kooky, but I sometimes be like, Lisa, you know what? I can't even be too hard on you because you have provided me 19 weeks of consistent entertainment. But yeah, she didn't do nothing to it, Shanny. She just threw it on her head. But that's what Lisa's going to do. But she says she feels insecure with Daniel. And the reason she feels insecure is she says that when she came back to America from Nigeria, things were going good. Lisa's daughter, Faith, says her mom was excited and talking about going back to Nigeria and all of those crazy things. And then it changed because Daniel started to not talk to her as much and he's not communicating with her. Sounds like Lisa doesn't hear from Daniel as much. She was talking to him every day. Now she's hearing from him once a month if she's lucky, maybe twice. Lisa is just something else. So her daughter did some investigating because Daniel gave Lisa the password to his email account. And because he had the password, she had the password to her email account. She gave it to the daughter, and the daughter saw in Daniel's email that he had another woman listed as a contact under wife. And Lisa just listed as Lisa baby, which was funny as hell to me, by the way. But he also had 4 different phone numbers that I guess Lisa didn't all know about. And Lisa's daughter decided to message the lady who was labeled as Daniel's wife. And she was like, hey, what's up with you? Pretty much, you were dating my mama. I'm trying to figure out, do you know Daniel and who you are to her? And the lady was cool. And then she stopped answering questions. That lady is probably aware that Daniel is using Lisa for money. That's probably what's happening. Daniel went to the slums of Nigeria, the ones that were right near the water and stuff. Like, he probably scammed people all the time. Lisa's probably one of many. I feel like Lisa's known this the whole time, but I guess now she's acting like she has some sense. And I'm kind of like, Lisa, you just now figuring out he might have had somebody, and you've had the password to his email this whole time. She made my teeth itch. She did, because I'm like, you've had the password to his email this whole time. You've been on him about money and all of these things, and it did not occur to you, Lisa, to go and look in the email, girl. The wigs cut off the oxygen to her brain to make her think. Because if you've been had these passwords, you should have been looked. But Lisa says she's now suspicious. I said, now you're suspicious? And she cracks me up. She cracks me up because she goes, you know, I wanted to give Daniel a shot, but now I'm suspicious of him. Lisa! Because here's the thing. I know that lady pooped on him But I enjoy Lisa. Lisa is a time. I'm not mad at Lisa for any of it. I'm not, because as quiet as it kept, the Nigerian scams are a big thing. I be having to tell all my clients that work in social work, hey, don't trust this. He's from where? No, 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 no. Don't send money, Miss So-and-so. I be having to warn people. But Lisa said, I'm going straight to Nigeria, spending my money, telling him lies. I'm hiding that I'm a lesbian and all of these things. I'm just like, oh my God, I just cannot. I just cannot. But her and Daniel are going to talk. Let me get through the comments because I don't want to ignore y'all. I really don't. Just tell me, Mrs. Beth, shut up and put my comment on the screen. And I promise you I will. I promise you I will. Kathy said, oh, Anthony will sit there with his napkin in his nap, utensils up and ready to go. Josiah, your mama just got at you. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hi, actually, Aubrey Podcast. I will be subscribing to you as well. I appreciate the sub. If you are a creator, I'm going to assume you are because it says you have a podcast. Y'all check out Aubrey's podcast. Let's support all of the creators. I appreciate you too, because I'll be wondering and feeling like I'm just talking and talking and talking and wondering if people feel the same way. So I appreciate that. It is nice to meet you. And if you partake, happy 420. I have not partaked yet. I need to. Yes, welcome to the channel. Kathy said, what African braid styles? Lisa actually, and I don't want to be mean to Lisa because she gave us a show, but she was doing some lives earlier in the season she put on a braided wig. Then she got some braids crocheted in her hair. They were really big. That's not the hairstyle. Mind you, Kathy, this is a clear woman, so she doesn't even have to be putting on these wigs, but it sounds like Lisa is only wearing the wigs because she's insecure about Daniel liking her. Yes, y'all, welcome in, actually, Aubrey and all of our new subscribers. We want them to feel safe here and like they part of the family. Y'all my thugging cousins, for real, for real. Please welcome them in. And I'm sorry it took so long for me to highlight your comment. Shanny said, Lisa, I was suspect of him before I start watching this show. As dry as Daniel's scalp is, I didn't trust him either. I couldn't trust him. Dry as hell, his scalp. Makes my teeth itch. It just does. It just does. Shanny said, hello, twins mother-in-law. We love Kathy. We love Kathy. Brother Joe's mom. We love Kathy. She is a ball of fun. Just good energy. She's one of them people. She said, yes, I'm a content creator too. Love supporting other creators. Hell yes. I love that. I am going to subscribe. I love that. I love that. I love that. And welcome in. I love finding other content creators because I end up watching y'all's content like more than my own, which is a concern. But hey, I like to get into things. But Lisa and Daniel do eventually talk on the phone. And he was nice. But it was funny because Lisa's like, she hasn't heard from him since like a month or two. And Daniel was like, hello, baby. And she said, Daniel, why haven't you been calling? You haven't been communicating. And Daniel was acting a little off. He kept looking behind him like, somebody gonna hear this? And Lisa asked Daniel about the wife. She says that Faith went through his email and she saw that there was a contact under the name wife. Now, he tried to decline it and deny it. But see, my girl Lisa, this time she kept her foot on his neck because she's learning he lied better than she does. And she told him, she said, well, I have screenshots. I have all the proof. And Daniel said to her, well, I'm not going to entertain any of it until you show me the screenshots. And Lisa said, you know what? I'm going to dump you. I said, Lisa, dump Daniel. You were in shambles and brought a goat, 3 yams, and a little shawl to be cleansed so that you could be with this man. You are obviously a bisexual and or lesbian woman, and you allowed this man to make you feel like sleeping with a woman made you a disgrace from his cultural perspective. But I'm just like, Lisa, you did all of that to dump him. Now, I'm happy she dumped him, but I feel like, were you in a manic moment to date him? Like, all of the, I'm baffled by it. But Daniel didn't seem to give, he could give a flying, you know what, y'all. Daniel does not care. He does not care. He does not care at all. Shanny said he was at another chick house while he was on the phone. He sure was. In that shirt that was 3 sizes too small. He sure was. They're both liars. I don't feel bad for Daniel. I don't feel bad for Lisa. What I saw watching these two is the best entertainment I've had on reality TV in years. But I saw a scammer scamming a scammer, getting scammed by a scammer that's been scammed. Okay? That's all I saw. They scammed each other. What can we do? What can we do other than say thank you, Lisa and Daniel, for one hell of a season? Now, I am curious what's going to happen at that tell-all, because in the sneak preview, all I saw was Lisa saying to Elise, well, I don't like you. I said, well, damn. What did Elise do to you, Lisa? Why don't we like Elise? Like, Lord help us. Lord help us. Lord help us. They crack me up, y'all. They really do make me laugh. Shout out to our replay gang. If you are watching when we're no longer live and you are still here, that means you tolerated 40 minutes of my voice. Shout out to you. Thug Life. Happy 420. Love and light. All of those good things. And thank you to everybody who subscribes. I appreciate you. I'm just a small YouTuber out of Oakland, California, talking crap on the internet. So I appreciate y'all a great deal. It means the world. And welcome to all of our new subscribers. You matter. You're fabulous. And you help my channel to keep going. You really do. Y'all, we're going to get into Rick and Trisha, though. She said, I was laughing at your man, what's his name, Rick, crying when that dude from Belize talked about him being a bad father. I mean, how great of a father can Rick be? And there's also some stuff that came out. I guess one of his kids, way before the show, had passed away. It looks like he doesn't choose the best women. And I still don't know that Rick has a job, because he came on this show telling us he sell hair weave doing tax time. And his Uber profile's been floating around. Mind you, I don't judge nobody who do Uber at all. Get your money. But that would explain why Rick kind of threw a fit about Trish wanting him to buy her a bathing suit a couple episodes ago. I don't know if y'all remember that. I said, not you tripping out, Rick. Like, you know, he's always tripping though. But Rick is going back home. He's crying and moping and sad because his own actions he has to be accountable for. He cheated on Trisha. He got caught. And now Trisha don't want him no more. And it upsets him. So he's doing this woe is me. Again, I don't know why people who cheat, especially serial cheaters like Rick, y'all cheat knowing that nobody likes a cheat. And then when you get caught cheating, you cry and expect anybody to feel bad for you. Why the fuck are you crying if you're cheated? Who cheated on you? Who broke your heart? And then it's even worse because Rick played with this girl the whole time. Not only did he cheat, but he accused her of cheating throughout most of his visit to Madagascar. Like, irritating. Irritating as hell. Cannot stand Rick the Ick is what I call him. Just nasty. And you know what? He does. Unfortunately, there are a lot of Ricks in California, especially in the Bay Area, Southern California, and the San Bernardino Valley. There are a lot of Ricks out here. That's why I be telling people, come to California if you want a job. Don't come here for a man. Good luck. Okay, good luck. I got very lucky. Good luck. But Rick is going to the airport. He's thinking that Trisha is done with him. He's like, she don't want me no more. She's done. And, you know, he's crying his little, you know, he has this tiny violin that he's keeping with him. So he sees that Trisha is at the airport and he starts crying. I mean, Rick broke down. Rick broke down and bad. He was baby. I wanted to be, shut your ass up. Be happy she's there. You don't even know if she wants you back. You just see homegirl in the airport, but you don't even know if she wants you back. You don't. And to think that she would want you back after what you did would make her weak. So I don't know why men never think that way. But he asked Trish, he said, baby, why did you come back to me? And she says, I didn't come back to you. I came because this is for you. It was, I guess, a gift. She didn't want it. She said, you take this. And she said she came to say goodbye because she said we will never see each other again. I said, that's right, Trish. Stand on business. F that man and his dirty draws. Okay? We do not like Rick. Rick the Ick. That's what I'm going to call him. At his big age, this is a 52-year-old man. You don't have to have it right once you have 50, but I feel like once you're at this age, instead of cheating, I feel like a 50-year-old man should be mature enough to like just dump people, never have anything serious, and just be moving around. Why enter a relationship and make it seem like you're going to marry her and get a visa and all of this if you know you're finna cheat? And at 52 years old, like, ew. Please, like when I'm 52, I want to be starting to knit, traveling. I don't want to be acting like this. Rick should want better for himself. But, you know, Trisha pretty much played him. She said, we'll never see each other again. She cries, gives him a hug. And he asked her, he was like, I will eventually get over my ex. Can we please try to make it work? The thing that Rick still hasn't understood, though, is like, you can't make it work. And I'm glad that Trisha at 25 had that strength to understand it, because a lot of people at 25 would not. And she's right, because you can't make it work. You cannot be in love with the ex who you have to get over while also wanting Trish. Like if you love somebody, you don't want nobody but them. That's usually how it goes. Like I don't want nobody but my spouse. That's just how it is with me. But, you know, with Rick, maybe he operates differently, but Trisha stood on business. She said, no, it's not going to work. Bon voyage and safe travels to you, ho. That's what she gave him. And I was glad, but I do wish that Trisha would have dumped him after the waterfall when she found out about the cheating the first time. That should have told you, of course, he's going to do it again. But, child, what can we do? Shani said, I love that she played him at the airport. Yes, showed up looking good, too, knowing that she did not want nothing to do with him. Not a thing. Not a thing. Kathy said, I forgot it was 420. I've been at work all day, Kathy, so I forgot too. But honestly, the older I get, my 420s are just less and less. I probably won't even be smoking next year. I have stopped drinking. Fun fact, y'all. I do not drink no more. So there is that. But I guess I'll puff some. I might. May as well. Shani said, deuces, nickel. Right? Straight deuces. Straight deuces. Oh, Lord, help us. So we're going to get to our big ass mama and baby bear, or whatever they call themselves. Baby bear, papa bear, whatever the heck it is called. But Forrest and Sheena have come to their last day. Sheena and Forrest are devastated. They are devastated. They have to separate. Forrest and Sheena did the most bullshitting and lying about this season. And I really want for that to come out at the tell-all, but I don't know that it will. We know that they've met twice before. I don't think that Sheena's a virgin, because Forrest said Sheena climbed on top of me and, you know, she guided me and we got things done. I said, no virgin just hopping on top and bouncing with ease. My channel, this is not the live. If you under 18, just warning you. I don't need nobody mama calling me mad. I'm just letting y'all know, but that's what they talked about on the show. That's why I'm saying it. But Forrest is sad. Molly explains that she's happy she was able to convince her son to come back home to America to get his affairs in order, because Forrest was going to try and leave his big ass in the Philippines. And, you know, Sheena seemed upset. I'm side-eyeing Sheena like Molly. Molly feels like she has more questions for Sheena and feels more unsettled leaving than she did when she arrived. And I'm kind of with Molly in that, because Sheena has been a question mark. Forrest has autism. He's on disability. There's rules and regulations to disability. I do social work. I'm very familiar with SSI, SSDI, SSA, you name it. I help people with that all day. There are rules and regulations that you have to follow. You can't just live your life the way you want to live your life unless you get in the like retirement. But if you get an SSI or SSDI, there are different rules and standards for that. So I find it interesting that the little income that Forrest does have, Sheena would not encourage him to leave, because she knows that the Philippines cannot support his autism the way that they can here in America. Now, America's not the greatest country, but there are some things that we have here that are better than other places, and vice versa. Like, as quiet as it's kept, if I have a medical issue, move me to Spain. They have the #1 healthcare in the world. Not here. Like, we actually fallen down on the scale. So there's a lot of things that he can benefit from with autism back at his home. He also still got a whole smart trailer house that he was living in set up. He can't just be up and moving to the Philippines. I don't blame him. The Philippines are beautiful. The people are beautiful. The food is great. The people are kind, but you know, he has to be smart. And honestly, y'all, Forrest does not want to work. He doesn't. He can. He don't want to work. But, you know, they say their goodbyes. Molly says that even though Sheena's manipulative, she does feel that Sheena and Forrest truly love each other. Sheena cried like a baby in that airport. Her big ass was just Papa Bear. I was like, bitch, close your mouth and be quiet. You knew he had to go. I get that it's sad. And Forrest took this cowboy hat he had and put it on her head. I said, my God, but Sheena sat there crying like a baby. I said, here she go with these fucking tears. Sheena, you making me curse. And I'm actually trying to curse less, y'all. So I really am trying to curse less. But Sheena irked my soul. She just did. She got on every last nerve that I got. But I get it. She's sad that he's leaving. But I still feel like there's a lot of unanswered questions with Sheena. Like the family. Her family saying, we don't need money from her. But then when their family's not looking, saying, you better still pay us. I feel like Sheena's not fully honest. But I guess we'll see. I also kind of feel like Forrest is a liar. So we'll see what happens with them. I do think they're genuine in their love. But I just have a lot of questions on what they're going to do. And I'm tired of Sheena crying. I cannot begin to tell you all how tired I am of Sheena's crying. I can't. Shani says, Sheena know how to bounce on it. She love you long time. Shani, go sit in the corner. You won't time out. I could not. Forrest is at the airport with a Toy Story Woody cowboy hat on a string, going under the chin and all. He said, there's a snake in my boot. Okay. I love Toy Story, by the way. I do. Which Toy Story? Toy Story 3. During COVID, me and my husband we was bored and watched Toy Story 2. Why was we crying? Well, I teared up. I said, this is a sad movie. When did Disney get this sad? Lord help us. Shout out to Disney. If y'all not on that racist stuff no more, shout out to y'all. Shetty says, Sheena, shut the F up. I'll curse her out for you, twin. The crying, like, I get being sad, but when the only people I want to hear crying like that is if your mama's died, your child, like somebody has to have died, or you need to be a child. Other than that, please be quiet with that. Can't stand no loud ass crier. But Lord, oh, you've only watched Toy Story 1. Toy Story 2 and 3 were also really good. I have not watched 4. I know they have a cajillion Toy Stories. I stopped at 3. 3 is my lucky number. That's why it's B3ST. But yeah, Toy Story 1 and 2, very, very good. Toy Story 3 was really kind of like more for the adults. I was crying. I don't know what my problem is, though. Maybe I was on my period or something. I don't know. I'll be sensitive. I cry off of everything, though, in movies. I be crying in comedies, so it could have been me. We're going to get into the last couple. We're going to discuss it. Y'all, what does James say? Charge to my heart, not my mind. I'm going to do the best I can because I was laughing, even though this girl Aviva was sad as hell. We get an update from Miss Aviva and her poorly styled hair from Phoenix, Arizona. We learned that Stig broke off their engagement and ended the relationship. And let me get the comment before I move forward. Shetty said, I never watched Finding Nemo either. And my son rolls his eyes at me every time. You've never seen Nemo? Shetty, just keep swimming. That's a Nemo reference. Please go see it. Finding Nemo is one of the best movies. I love Finding Nemo. I love The Lion King. I know they are cartoons, but I think they're some of the best movies ever made. They give you some life stories. I still P. Sherbet, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. I love Finding Nemo. Shout out to my mama for letting us movie hop to see Nemo in 2004. Shout out to her. One of my favorite movies ever made. I will never get tired of Finding Nemo. Love that movie. He said, fish are friends, not food. They done made fun of AA, came at humans. I loved it. But Stig said in the last episode that he was going to go to Houston and get back together with his ex. Oh, he said that to us. He didn't say shit to Aviva. And it was funny. Aviva wasn't on the plane. As soon as the airport doors closed and then he couldn't feel the AC, he said, yeah, I'm going to get to Houston. Stig wasn't worried about Aviva. Aviva served her purpose. She gave him some and he moved on. She said, I know that reference. I know. You got to see the movie. It's a great movie, Shani. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Especially since it's 420, I recommend Puff Puff while watching. Nemo's one of them ones for that. But Aviva says that the breakup came out of nowhere and this poor girl was in tears. You could tell she was really hurting. And I felt for her just because I'm the type of person, if I see someone like crying who's genuinely upset, even if I can't stand you, I'd just be like, oh, my heart a little bit gets tugged. As my husband says all the time, he's like, you way too nice. I don't know. He's also an asshole, but you know, maybe I'm not too nice. But I felt bad for Aviva. She looked heartbroken, but I also kind of don't feel bad for her. I feel like this is just what she needed because you could tell she was living in that Phoenix delusion that James talks about. And she was doing too much too soon. I mean, Stig's father told Aviva he cheats. Her Aunt Spring provided proof he cheats, as well as one of the friends. And Aviva was like, I'm going to stuck beside him just to end up getting dumped. So she says Stig came to the US and they went to Vegas together, had a fun time. Of course, he went somewhere to party and not to spend actual time with you. He could have came to Arizona. Y'all do know that Phoenix, Arizona is like a 2.5-hour drive from Vegas for those who are not familiar with the geography. Over on the West Coast, Phoenix to Vegas, with Amina driving, we could get there in 2 hours. With James driving, we'll be there in 3. Okay, it's not far at all. And I'm wondering why he couldn't just visit Aviva. But, you know, they also went to Houston. I guess Stig has family in Houston, Texas. If you have family in Houston, Stig, you don't really need Aviva to get to the U.S. Just saying. But he has family. Aviva met them and things like that. But she says that once Stig went home after those trips they had, that she saw a different side of him. She says he would go missing on her. She wouldn't hear from him for days at a time. And she believes that Stig was cheating on her. I said, you're just now believing that? Aviva, he's been cheating on you. He's never stopped. He was never faithful to you. And pretty much they broke up because of that. The interesting part is Stig broke up with her after he ghosted her. It looks like he was going to ghost her, but she kept hitting him up. And so he was finally like, yeah, I don't think we should talk no more. And minutes after the breakup, he posted a video with another woman and Aviva was just in tears. Now that's hard, regardless of what happened with them in their breakup, because they're both fucking idiots. Let's just call a spade a spade. But that would be rough. I can't imagine someone that I loved and touted on the internet breaking up with me after I meet the family and think I'm really locked in. You break up with me via text for cheating. And then minutes after the breakup, I go on social media to, you know, do what people do when they break up, to block him or mute him or unfollow him. But before she could do that, she's seeing him posted up with other chicks. I said, child, I feel bad for her. And Aviva says there's a lot of unanswered questions. But honey, there's been unanswered questions since the beginning. And I just feel like Aviva should have paid attention to them and listened to it. Like women, we have our gut and our intuition. And when I was younger, I used to ignore my intuition sometimes too. But like now that I'm older, I'm like, please listen to it, y'all. Listen to it. Aviva should have listened to her gut and left that man. Never settle and never accept treatment. Like people can do bad things to you, sure. But you don't settle and just accept it. Like, make the man work. Make him prove something. I feel like Aviva did most of the work in the relationship and was a little delusional. I'm glad she's out of it and is, you know, in a better place. But I'm not surprised they broke up. We knew they would not make it. Let me know if anybody thought that Aviva and Stig would make it. I'm totally curious because I never had faith in this couple. The only couple on this show that I thought would make it was Forrest and Sheena, and Laura and Birkan. Everyone else, I was kind of like, I don't think their relationships will like get far. I don't know why. I just didn't feel it. And 90 Day Fiancé will be coming back, y'all, because that was it for this season of Before the 90 Days. We got through all of the couples. 90 Day Fiancé will be back. Yes, I will be covering 90 Day Fiancé. We will cover that every week. James will join when he's able to. James, for those who are new to the channel, he is my best friend from high school. I have known him since before I had titties, child. But we do a lot of shows together. We have our own channels. We also have a joint channel together. But 90 Day is something he wanted to join in. He enjoys the show, but he does work in a factory and is also moving across the country. So there is a lot of busyness with him. His job also has him working a mandatory 21 days straight of work with OT. So he's doing 12-hour shifts. So that is why he is not here. But the show must go on. So we will be covering 90 Day Fiancé when it comes back on May 10th. Other things coming back in May on the 29th, Love After Lockup. I will be covering that with James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews, as well as Kiwan JTV. Next week for the tell-all, I will be inviting Shani up here, who is one of our moderators and day one subscribers, so that we could talk about the 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days tell-all, which is their reunion part 1. So I appreciate you, Shani, for joining. If anyone else is interested in joining or collaborating, just let me know or DM me. The information to reach me is always in the description of this video or on the profile page of my channel. Next month is our month, y'all. It's Gemini season. My birthday is next month. Stop playing with me in 32 days. I will be 34. I am very excited. I'm very excited. I'm one of those people that's looking forward to turning 40 and 50 so I could talk shit and get away with it. That's literally what I'm looking forward to. But next month is my birthday, and this Saturday is James's birthday. So let's be sure to wish him a happy birthday as well. It is also Shani's birthday. She is my Gemini twin. That is why I call her my twin. So we will definitely be celebrating myself and Shani. I will be putting together a happy birthday message for you, Shani, just so you know. But other than that, you guys, that's it for 90 Day. Before the 90 days, we do keep the conversation going even when we're no longer live. I always have my phone on me and I'm always on YouTube responding. So if you felt the way about the show, let me know. Comment your opinion, even if it's different from mine. Everybody is welcome. I appreciate y'all. We will be having 2 videos drop tomorrow. There's going to be 90 Day, the single life that's going to drop. And I am also picking up Netflix's Temptation Island. The new season of that just dropped. I love y'all. Thug life. Happy 420, and I will see y'all tomorrow and hope you enjoy the rest of your night. And shout out to the replay gang. Bon voyage.